Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far. So today's video is for makeup idiots. Makeup for dummies, if you will. I'm so sorry, that sounds extremely harsh, but today's video is indeed for people who feel like they suck at doing makeup, like they're rubbish at doing makeup, and every time you watch a tutorial or a how-to video with regards to makeup, you feel like, I can't do that. It doesn't turn out like that when I do that. I use all the same products, and what I end up looking like is not anything like what that person ended up looking like. You know, if that's you, then this is the video for you. I'm going to be talking to you about 5 products that I highly recommend if you feel like you suck, if you feel like you don't have the talent, the skill, the artistic creativity to make a lot of these looks and these products work that you see on YouTube or you see on Instagram, and you wish that you had time and energy and the skill to do a 25 different color rainbow cut crease every day. But guess what? Most of us, we don't, do we? We don't. I know I don't. I definitely know I don't. But I have found products that I can use with ease and that fit my skill level because it's not as high as some others. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing products with you that I feel I have in my collection are so easy to use effectively for a beginner or for someone who's a little bit haphazard or who is a little heavy-handed like me, or just struggles with tools or struggles to be precise, struggles with application in general. Maybe you struggle with blending or even just putting colours together and things like that. These are my 5 products that literally any fool could use and make look immaculate. I promise you. So first up, this eyeshadow palette from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Star Aura eyeshadow palette. Here she is, nice and close up so that you can see her. Now, the thing about this eyeshadow palette that I feel makes it an absolute winner for beginners or people with a lower skill level or ability or confidence level, which is super important when it comes to makeup, is that these shades, I didn't put any on that finger. I mean, do you see? Just see what I'm dealing with? You know, and you thought you had it bad. So the thing about this palette, so here they are swatched here. The thing that makes this so easy for like beginners or people who suck at blending or find blending very hard or just don't know what to put where and struggle with placement and all that stuff, these colours are quite close. This whole palette, there's subtle shifts in tone and in shade, and it just tells you exactly what to do, and it is very, very easy. There is no worrying about, oh, I've got to blend that one into that one, and there's a much deeper shade that I have to be very careful with and pick up a small amount and then I'm going to blend for half an hour to get it to be seamless with that other shade that is a lot lighter. There's none of that going on, okay? All you do is just whack some of the deepest one in, vaguely blend this one anywhere near it, and they're so kind of similar that they just literally do the blend. I mean, just by doing that, you can barely see where one ends and the other begins. And it's just like that, an absolute dream to work with in that respect. They just will just blend themselves and they seamlessly melt just delicately and easily without any ado. Without any fuss, without any drama. There's no big steps between the shades in here. You don't need anything else. You don't need another palette. You don't need liner. You don't need anything. It's very, very simple. It does one job. You put the shades in the order that they're in there and vaguely whack them together, and it's going to look like you blended it really cleverly and like you spent ages on your eye look. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter what order they go in. It doesn't really matter whether you blended very well, because they don't need much blending. There's not much huge difference in depth between the shadows, and therefore it's very easy to hide some dodgy blending or some rough blending or some dodgy placement. It's just not going to matter with that palette because it is just so forgiving and easy to work with. Literally anybody can do it. And because all the shades in here are shimmer, and I know that can be scary because you're thinking, oh, shimmer in the crease, or what are we talking about? But these really work when blended into the crease or blended in the outer edge of the eye, outer V of the eye. They don't look like shimmer. It doesn't look like you've got a whole eye of shimmer. It just looks like a glowy, bronzy goddess look with absolutely minimal effort. You can also use any of these as like a single lid shade. Literally whack any of these on your lid and you're good to go. You don't need to do a whole shebang with it, but if you do want to, it's going to be the easiest shebang you ever banged in your life, let me tell you. So next up, a step that I feel a lot of people who are lacking in confidence or feel like they're not very good at makeup shy away from and are afraid of, but shouldn't be, and it is cream contour or cream bronzer. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury wand. I would also recommend, especially if you have a deeper skin tone, or if you would rather a warmer undertone rather than a contour, so more of a bronzer, having a look at the MAC concealer sticks, because they have the same exact benefits for beginners and for people who struggle and find it really tricky as this does. The thing about this is it's got this tip. You see that? If you can draw a line, doesn't have to be straight, doesn't have to be precise. If you can draw a line, you can cream contour with this. And you don't need to do anything else. You can whack a bit of some tinted moisturiser or some foundation on if you want, or not, BB cream, whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. If you can draw a line and you know where your ear is, you can use this, because you're literally just going to put this somewhere in the region of the top of your ear and you're going to start drawing towards your mouth. You can even put a finger there as a guide if it helps you, and that's all you're going to do. All you're going to do, and you're done. And this blends so easily that you don't need to be scared. You don't need to be scared that you're going to end up muddy or it's going to be all over your face. You're literally going to draw a line. If you want, you can go around your forehead, but you don't even have to do that. If that's all a little bit too much, you're just literally going to draw. And again, you could dot it if you're a bit scared. Instead of drawing, you can dot, so that you make sure you don't go too far. You can put your finger as a guideline. You can put your finger where you want to stop. All of these things, with one of these, you can't go wrong. And like I said, you could use a bronzer, a bronzing shade, a warmer shade with the MAC sticks. And it's literally like drawing a line. That's all you're going to do. And then you could draw one around your forehead, make that a little warmer if that's to your taste. We won't get going with the nose because that's like a whole other shebang. But this is the easiest thing to use. And I feel like a lot of people feel these days that you have to contour, bronze, blush, highlight every time you do your makeup, but you don't. You can easily do a light wash of foundation or BB cream, tinted moisturiser, use one of these sticks to give yourself a bit of shape and definition to the face. You don't have to do anything else. That will look gorgeous, trust me. Next up, a foolproof highlight, and it is my favourite, the Pat McGrath Divine Rose. You cannot mess this up, okay? I promise you. You can literally use any brush. I sometimes use my fan brush by Sonia G. I sometimes use the Linda Holberg. Sometimes I'll literally use an eyeshadow brush. You could even use something as big as the Inoshigi, however you pronounce this, Sonia G brush, because it's absolutely foolproof, bulletproof, everything proof. Throw whatever you want at it. You can never get too much. A lot of highlights, if you apply them in a little bit too far down or too high, or bring them in too far, or you put them too close to the middle of your forehead, or too much on your chin, or too much down your nose, and it's going to look, it can leave a cast, it can look grey, it can look muddy, it can throw off and leave your cheek like looking like a line, it can throw off your blush and bronzer, it can make everything look grey and ashy, it can be a disaster. This one, you can put as much on, do it all day and put it all over your whole cheek, and it just never looks too much. It's completely idiot proof as far as highlight goes. That you just can't go wrong. You can just literally throw it at your face and it'll still look beautiful. And you can quote me on that. Now for blush. I feel like blush is quite intimidating for people who aren't comfortable with makeup and feel like they don't know what they're doing, because I think there's this stigma when it comes to blush that it's like clown makeup, like it's that, you know, drawn on cheeks, really, and it's just, that's what a lot of us fear when we hear the word blusher. We think, oh, we're going to look like a clown cheeks. And a lot of the time that can happen if you are heavy-handed, if you're a bit clumsy with placement, if you're not really sure where it's supposed to be going, that can happen, but not with this bad boy. This is Bellini from Laura Mercier. And if there was ever a foolproof blush, it's this one. You just cannot go wrong. I've said to you before, I'm very heavy-handed. Very heavy-handed, very clumsy, very haphazard with everything all of the time. Like, whoops, there's a, you know, eyeliner on my nose. Whoops, there's highlight on my teeth. Whoops, there's lipstick in my hair. That's kind of my life now. But this, do you see how it's just barely a wash? You cannot go wrong with this. If it comes a little far in, if you put a little bit too much, if you put it a little too high, it's just blended seamlessly to look like a flush, like you've just got a little warm. And that's all it's ever going to look like. It's never going to play you or do you dirty. If you are afraid or suck at putting blush on, please give this one a try, because it's just so forgiving. You just cannot overdo it. You can't overdo it. You can't really misplace it unless you put it like, I don't know, on your eyeball. That would be misplaced. That would be a mistake. But essentially, it's never going to go too wild, is what I'm saying to you. It's just absolutely inoffensive, absolutely natural, perfected, just beautiful. And it will just look like you're a complete pro, when in actual fact, you've probably just thrown it at your face with a spoon. Maybe. And now for lip products. If you are messy, haphazard with lip products, get it on your teeth, can't get the shape, nothing ever really looks good when it comes to lipstick, you feel like you're there for hours with a pencil trying to make a nice line, don't bother. Forget about it. Don't worry about it. Get yourself one of these. These are the Volupte Shine lipsticks from YSL, and they are just so easy to apply. You don't need a mirror. You just whack it on in the middle of your bottom lip. Give it one of those. Perfect every time. They're just so kind of sheer shiny that they just find their way onto your lips. You can't, even if they go over your lip line or under your lip line, you're not going to notice, because they're just so natural and sheer and shiny that it just gets hidden with your natural lip colour. That was the shade 121, by the way. That's probably, for my skin tone, like the most natural there is. But if you're a bit deeper skin, maybe 122, there's lots and lots of shades of these, so you can just choose depending on whether you're fairer or have deeper skin. But the formula is just the perfect one. If you are haphazard, if you don't always have a mirror and you just can't do lipstick, you know, a matte lipstick or lipstick with 100% opacity to the colour, or a bright, very, very bright colour, that's much harder to get looking beautiful and seamless and perfect in a symmetrical shape on both sides of the lips, especially if actually your lips are not symmetrical. I mean, come on, help me out a little bit, God. But with these, you don't even need to try and find all the edges of your lip. You just whack a bit on the bottom lip, smush them together, and it's just going to look healthy and juicy and glowy and a little bit of pizzazz. So there you have it. Those are 5 products that if you just feel like you're rubbish and you can't work with all these 48,000 products and it never quite turns out how you intended, these are foolproof, clumsy oath proof, heavy-handed proof, can't go wrong, can't really misuse them products. Please let us know if you have any recommendations that also fit in this same category for when you're just having a rubbish day, or you feel like you can't do makeup, or you're a beginner just starting out and you don't know where to start and it's all very overwhelming. Tell us your simple makeup for dummies. You know, sharing is always caring here. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.